Alright, I think we are live. Hey yo, everybody. I am Braxton Wise. This is Third Copy Studio. And let's see, what we're working on today is the game art, the cover art for Poppy Playtime Chapter 5. There we go. Alright, we're real close. I think this is getting done today. Where's my... yeah, I want my reference. There we go. I don't think we're gonna do the words. We're just do the picture itself. So this is sort of inconsequential. This bit up here. Okay, we got the head cracks going, and let's see. I'll have to have those on a separate layer. Oh, I was gonna do something else during the week, and I didn't. Let's see. Am I gonna do it today? Kind of need to, but this is just gonna make it last longer. I kind of wanted to finish today. I don't know if I do this, I don't think I'll have enough time to finish it today though. But what I wanted to do was to move something to another layer. Like, we don't need the vector anymore. Did I drop that down? Hold on, there's nothing on that layer, is there? Okay. If I have to use that. I wonder if I can copy and paste this thing. I'll have to cut it out though. So that's kind of an issue. Okay, so what I want to do is get this onto an upper layer. I'm either going to recreate it or just copy and paste it. The thing is, if I try to copy and paste, it's going to be difficult and it's going to take other bits with it. It's going to be hard to trace those edges. That lasso tool still confounds me as to how you trace around edges with that thing. I lasso easily with them like that. but using this thing to literally trace around stuff like I've seen other people do, it's like, I don't know how you're supposed to do that. It seems incredibly wonky. So I guess we're just going to use vectors. And I'll just lower down the opacity here so I can see what I'm trying to do. Get rid of the confusion of the background. Okay. I'll just try and vector this out. I want to get this needs to be in front of that anyway, but I want to get this whole thing, and this is the thumb of this thing. So, ayo woo woo. We're gonna perform some surgery here. I need to get this thumb on an upper layer, because as I do the shading for the head, I have to keep coming back and correcting this. It keeps messing everything up because it's all in one layer. So you know how I am with layers, but I need to do this. So yeah, so I think I'm going to vector this out. What did I do before? Did I vector and fill? Yeah, but I used the edges with the same color. Alright, so we need to... Didn't I do that? I think I did that. Yeah, but then I... It's weird, because I don't know how to change the color of the vectors in this. And I thought you could. I think I tried, but couldn't figure out how to do it. So, I don't know. Isn't there a way to change the vectors? To paint them with a different color? There probably is, I just don't understand where it is. It's probably not in this menu. No, I'm sure there's a setting for it, but... I don't know. And I don't want to mess anything up, so we'll just leave it alone. Okay, we've already got that. We'll use that color. Yeah, I don't like layers. I don't like working with them because I always am working on the wrong layer and stuff, but I don't know. We gotta do this. It has to be done. What did I do? No, I dropped them down into another layer here. Trying to remember my workflow for doing these other vectors. Yeah, there. So we'll do vectors and drop them down, then alpha lock and recolor. Yeah, okay. It's fine. We can do this. It'll be easy. Make sure we have the right thing. Now I have the curve thing. Do I need that though? Yeah, the curve tool will work as well. I just have to be very steady when I give that the final click to get it to let go of the line, because if you do like the curve vector, press hold, and when you let up, you see, so you have to lift up and then touch back down again to keep it a straight line. Either that or go back and keep changing your vector shapes, which is, I find that to be incredibly annoying. So yeah, I tend to veer away from that wholeheartedly. with every fiber of my being. All three of them. All three fibers. I would love some way to toggle between these things. It's fairly pointy, but I see it got curved in a little bit, didn't it? No, it'll be fine. It's fine. Yeah, it does have a slight curve. Well, it's fine. I mean, you know, it'll just enhance the pointiness, maybe. All right, and we'll just copy out this bit and this. I could just redraw that by hand, but there we go. I don't like that I put that in a weird spot. It's just that this other little pointy thing is in a way I'm sort of avoiding it. I need like a poly or continuous curve. What size are you? 4 millimeter. 4 mil okay, keep it there. 4 pixel. I mean, that's what we want. There are just some basic shapes. Can't really see this very well. Well, this does not have to be that accurate. I can just redraw that. Okay. No, thank you. Is that not closed in? No, we have to keep going back and forth. Lovely. Right. And then we'll take the vector and we raster that by dropping it to the lower layer. See? Let's grab my brush. All right. Now what I have to do, I still have to erase and repair this stuff though. Or do I? Let's turn off the head cracks. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Heyo, Strider. Welcome in. Okay, I think that'll be alright. I think you'll just cover it up. I don't think I actually have to erase this. Thumb. Alright, so what were we doing? We did something like that. Man, birds flying into my door. That is not good. The bird just slammed itself into my sliding glass door. At least this one lived. Sometimes they die. Right? That happens. What about birds flying into windows? Oh, you mean it was that old Alfred Hitchcock film? That would be the birds, yeah. That's an old one. We went with kind of a sort of reddish brown color, even though this is sort of a blackish thing. I'm not sure how we're gonna... I mean, it looks fine though, right? I don't know. Hopefully. I just want it to be warmer. This has this this. Lock, yeah, we'll just lock that. They're not as round as I want them to be, but I can fix that. Or not, it all depends on if I feel like fixing that. I can probably just make it passable and it'd be fine. It's supposed to be on top of that. Was that not filled up there? Maybe not. All right.
Refraction PCXX2 asked me, what do you think about Huggy Wuggy from Poppy Playtime? Oh, barnacles! Huggy Wuggy is quite the character, isn't he? With those big googly eyes and that eerie grin, he's certainly not your average toy. He's one of those creepy critters that give you the heebie-jeebies, but that's what makes him so interesting in Poppy Playtime. Gotta say, navigating around him is like trying to avoid the Flying Dutchman. Yikes!
There you go. I have not played it yet. I do have the base game, which is currently free to play, and it's chapter 1. What was that? Did I accidentally hit that with an eraser or something? I have to do a little bit of repair. This is what I was wanting to avoid by getting that done. There. It's on the layer below though. So I have to make sure that I'm not correcting the wrong layer because, you know, it's kind of how I roll. Yeah, I think that's about right. Turn that back on and we'll try to do a little highlight here. Oh, because we're alpha locked. Oh, is it giving me new problems? Yes, it is. Why did it do that separately when I colored all that in? So tedious. I really don't like introducing vectors into the picture. They always make extra work for you. You'd think it's gonna be simpler, but no. It's just gonna make it more difficult. I should be off too. Yeah, I was kind of afraid that doing this today, instead of having done it over the week, that was gonna slow me to the point where I would not be able to finish this today. So that's unfortunate. But the alpha lock's not gonna work unless I fill all this in by hand. At least I have a straight line to kind of work against. But it must be the anti-aliasing or something that causes that little bit of a seam. Oh, and Strider got first. Also, I'm wondering if the music is annoying. Now, some people listen to their own music in the background while they do other stuff, so I could just turn off the music entirely, and it would just be in here in silence. The only reason I do the music is because, you know, Twitch people don't handle silence well at all, actually. So you got to have something, and they start freaking out. But on YouTube, people are, I don't know, a little more tolerant of silence, and I think they just have stuff going in the background with other music or something. So I'm not really sure. Hey, Zweezy Gun, Zweezy. I don't think silence is a good idea. If people don't want music, they can mute the stream. Well, that's the thing. They might want to hear me talk and yet hear their own music in the background. Of course, most people don't really want to hear me talk, so I probably should just keep the music going. Because they probably just mute me anyway, no matter what's going on in the background. That's what I'm saying. It's the same music every time, though, like, but it's soothing. Like, some music will stop my thought process. This tends not to, because I can't. It's hard to think sometimes. I have to have silence even to read. I can barely retain anything if I don't have total silence. And this is something I found that I actually can work with, which is rare. So that's why the music is the same every time. Which thing? This is the one on the left here is the original. That's the reference. But I'll show you what this one looks like, the one I'm working on, because they're real close, real up close to it, so you probably can't see what it is. There. There. And yes, I did do this one from scratch. Thank you. There's a couple of things I want to do on the background. These lights. I think I can do a better job if I use a blending mode. So we're going to give that a shot to get these bright highlights in here, because I just could not match them with this. So the blending mode might help. I am always so confused about blending modes. I think I finally kind of figured out a use for a couple of them. Most of them, like, look, blending modes, some of them, like, each one has its own math. And that's what they are. They're equations. This plus this, or multiplied by that, and subtract by that, and that's what each one of those is. So some of them will create the same effect but using different math, which is also strange. And when you look at them, you're like, it looks almost the same. I don't even know why I would choose one over the other. Like, why have so many that basically do about the same thing? But it does. They all have those. This huge list. All these things. You know, like darken and multiply, right? Or color burn, linear burn, subtract. This is math. All this is math. And I don't remember how all these work. I'm trying to remember which one did I use? I was playing around with blending modes, and I think I figured out a way to get these kind of hot, sort of brights in here. It may have been color burn, but now I don't remember what it was. There's just too many of them. Way too many. So here's what I'm doing. I'm moving the thumb of this creature this bit, because I have it on the same layer, because of course I do. Because I have an extreme aversion to multiple layers. But as I try to shade out the head like this, it means I'm shading on top of this too, and then I have to go back and keep repairing it as it gets corrupted by the shading. And so instead I decided to vector it out and transfer it, kind of copy it. Well, we're hand copying it to the layer above. so that the one below can just get destroyed and no one will see it. Feels like this line does not want to get darker. Like I'm still seeing this weird little haze. It also doesn't want to be dark enough. It's really frustrating. It may just be that it's next to the other color. But I am going to play the Poppy Playtime Chapter 1. I was asked to record my gameplay of it, so I may do that, but I don't know. It won't be on Twitch. It'll only be a YouTube thing. If I do any gaming of any kind and recording it, it's just going to be on YouTube. I don't live stream games on Twitch anymore. But it has to, at least, if I ever do that like this, it has to be related to the artwork that I'm doing. You know? Although it's not like it hurts my algorithm, because it's not like the algorithm does anything for me anyway. So it's not hurting anything. But I just don't want... I just don't want to be a gaming streamer again. Ever again. Oh. There. That's probably what's messing with me. Yeah. Because see, these thin parts where the anti-aliasing was sort of blocking out the color and everything. That's why I'm having to do this. It didn't quite fill, which is annoying. If there's a better way to do that, and I would love to know. Maybe turning off anti-aliasing for that, maybe. But then make the edges very chunky on the outside, so it's sort of like, you know, like a catch-22. Oh, we were working on Mechagodzilla yesterday. I'm sort of alternating between them. The movie poster for the Terror of Mechagodzilla. Also, where is that? We should bring that in. I like having something else to show people. Is that one? Did we do 5? There we go. That's the one. From this poster here. This is my reference. And this was done... When are we doing this? We do this on Saturdays. We do Poppy on Sundays. So, we're getting close. He took a lot of time rendering him. Turn off the sketch. There, he looks a little bit better. They just crashed my thing. There. Oh, I just can't see the brush. I turned off that crosshair thing. It was annoying the crap out of me. When the mouse gets, or the cursor gets really small, it does this crazy crosshairs thing, and then it sort of distracts me from where this thing is. So fortunately, I was able to turn that off. There's a program called Leonardo that everyone loves. I have it. I have a copy of it. I don't like it as much as everyone seems to. A lot of it is because it provides me zero control over annoyances like the crosshairs and those kind of preferences. It just does crosshairs, and it's like, nope, you don't get to do anything about this. Or crazy pop-ups that, try to tutorialize me when I do something. I'm like, are you going to do this every single time? Is there a way to turn these off? Nope. And yes. Yes, I'm going to do it every time. No, I'm not going to let you change that. So, yeah. It's things like that. If it doesn't provide me a way to edit out the annoyances, I just won't use it. It sucks though, because I paid for that thing. And I paid for it because I was using it for concepting the game stuff I was making. Except I wanted to have a text tool that I could type the notes in, because handwriting notes in there was just tedious. So why do that? It's not really helping me with my design stuff if it makes me handwrite on my notes around my sketches. So I just stopped using it. And the thing is, they had promised to include that like several years ago when I bought it. They're like, yeah, we're going to have a text tool in there. I mean, it may have one now, but I don't know, because I was too frustrated the last time I opened it up. I was like, nope. Crosshairs, nope. No way to get rid of annoyances. The preferences menu is too simplified. So they may have a text tool in there like they promised years ago, but it's going to be lost on me because I can't get past the other annoying things that's in it. It does boot up quickly. And it does this really cool infinite canvas thing. So you don't actually pick a canvas size. You could if you wanted to. You can turn that feature off. Funny, the one reason everyone loves it is the one thing you can actually turn off. Strange. But it is neat, the infinite canvas thing. I wish this had that. Then I would use this for, this would actually be the exact tool that I would want. If you could do that. I can hopefully alpha lock this, and then this will go a little faster. Of course, I'm not going to go so far as to make this like incredibly exact. We're just trying to get like just having fun and improving my drawing skills. Just needed a lot of accurate drawing to get these down. Just like Mechagodzilla, that I thought that would be a good one as well. When Nix recommended it and showed me the references he was putting in the was it the Twitch alt channel we were using that for in the Discord for the reference suggestions. I saw that one poster, I saw this, and I thought, yeah, all of this needs to happen. So many lines and angles on him that would definitely be great for getting some actual drawing practice. So it took me a little longer than I would normally do, but because I would usually rush to paint. It's something like that. There's so many angles on it. You really do need to draw that stuff. Rushing to paint would be a bad idea. For me at least, in the way that I draw. Whew, almost there. See, look, we're close to the end. We can see it over here. You know, really, these are just my sneaky way of doing master studies and not boring everyone. Although it probably is boring to some, but master studies are basically copying the work of other artists as a way to kind of figure out how they did stuff. It's like a standard artist thing of like sort of how to learn things, I guess. Because if in art you basically learn the technical stuff, and then all the technique stuff is just sort of you're gonna have to pick that up through copying the work of others. So master studies are usually just kind of paintings that nobody cares about. So this is like a secretive master study, but nobody realizes it's a master study. This is looking chunky. See, that is the weird part. It's very strange that this is straight right here, and yet it looks pinched when it gets over that main. It's above this one part. Wow. It's a dangerously large eraser. It is very weird because it's fine like this. There's a little bit there, but it just looks so pinched in. It's that this below is thicker. So what does that mean? Does it mean I'm going to erase that? Yes. Ugh. That means we're going to have to cut through this. So there's going to be some repair. This is not going to be the day we finish this. I had hope. But I really do need to get this on the layer above. So. And then we'll just look at the destruction later. We'll see just how badly how much extra work I just cost myself. Wow. Okay. Just ruining my stuff today. Excuse me. What I need to do is let's see. Yeah, I think we're just gonna keep it on this, work on this part today. Yuck. All right. It is painful doing that. Yikes. That is so painful. I'm just gonna have to destroy all of it. See if we've cut enough of it out. Just get that out of there too. Deep breaths, everybody. Deep breaths. Calming breaths. All right. Did I get that? Pretty much. I think Poppy's gonna be fun. I was watching a little bit of it. I didn't want to be spoiled on it. But I'm, you know, it's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of a me thing. This kind of game. It's definitely like a Braxton game. I like the creepy stuff. And it's not like a combat kind of thing exactly. It's more like a getting away from the monster 3D platformer. Survival horror. It's actually really cool. If I was a kid, I'd be playing this on day one, just like super cool guy who was talking to me about it, and this is why I'm doing this, because he requested this. Okay, I think that looks all right. My stuff seems to be locked up for some crazy reason. That was weird. Why didn't anything work? It just had like a strange hiccup right there. No, this one's a game. Yeah, this is the game art. It's these weird like toy monsters. This is, I think this background, it's like a pile of toys back here. And see, there's, if you can see it's like it's going back toward, I think it's an incinerator or something. I think this stuff out here is like railings. That's why I sort of drew what looked like railings over here. I was just drawing, see, this is all just a blurry mess. So all I was doing, since I didn't really know what was in the background, and I hadn't played the game, so I was just sort of drawing what I saw, not really understanding what this is. But I think it's like tracks or rails moving toward like a like the doors, open doors of an incinerator or something. It's what I think of when I look at it. Excuse me. There. I think. But I'm gonna play it. It was pretty intense. I started Poppy 5. I just was watching a preview of it. It just released. It releases in chapters, you know. You have the base game for free, and then it releases chapter 2, 3, 4, and then 5 was recent. So I looked at 5 for a moment. Wow. Yeah, it was crazy. It's pretty intense. There, that's what I wanted. See, this is why I did that. So I can go over this and not hurt the layer above. See, because I'm not even on that layer. So, good. That's what I wanted. So at least something was accomplished. And it was kind of a major thing, because it was something that was going to cost me a lot of extra time. I mean, it did cost me extra time. It was going to cost me more having to go back and repair that. Like multiple times. Oh, did I hit the wrong button? Yes, I did. There we go. There, now we can like do the shading like here that I had done before, And I was just before I was just sort of mapping out the shadows and where I wanted them to be. And the plan was to come back and intensify all this later. Now we can get back to rendering, which is about the most fun thing in the universe. Alright, there's a little highlight in here, but we'll save that for later. Why is that doing that line? Turn that off. Like a little bit of blush. I like that. That's neat. They put like a little tiny touch. It's such a creepy baby doll head. You should probably put like a really light mist of this over here. Let's turn off that background. Yeah, we'll just put like a really light thing over this. I cannot do this texture. You know, it's probably done in Blender or some kind of other 3D thing. So I cannot apply those textures this way. We're just gonna hand draw everything. Hey yo, Mr. Super Cool Guy. How you doing? Welcome in. working on? Well, you can see what we're working on. There's my airbrush, yes. Nice. Cyrillic Plays, welcome in. We are sort of recreating the artwork for Poppy Playtime. I need to turn off that alpha lock, that's the problem. There we go. Some of these things aren't completely solid, so the opacity lock, what do they call it in this one? Transparent. It's an alpha lock, really, so it just... Alpha is a transparency. So it kind of locks down all the pixels, and I can just color on top of them, but I can't do that with this one because they're not completely filled in down here. Still slightly transparent. Oh, Spider-Man 2? Nice. Yeah, that's a PlayStation thing. I had Spider-Man 1. I never got 2. I don't think I've ever seen anyone play the second one. I'm going to play Poppy Playtime. Sometime during this week. I have the base game. I don't know if I'm going to do it live. I'll, you know, I might record it and upload it to YouTube later. I'll make a folder or a playlist. So if I do any games, they'll just be in a separate playlist. But I don't know. Do people like commentary? With YouTube gameplay? On Twitch, they hate silence. It's a very different animal on Twitch. Twitch people cannot handle silence for even 5 seconds, so if you aren't doing commentary during your gameplay, they're all gone. Which is how I got used to talking for several hours at a time. Because Twitch kind of demands it. I notice a lot of the people who do the gameplay stuff on YouTube, it's just gameplay. Like no talking, just game. Of course, they also don't include their mistakes either, so probably those are just like for tutorials and when people want to look something up. Like, how do you get through this part? I gotta find somebody on YouTube, see if they're how they do it. That's basically what Twitch streamers use YouTube for, to look up the look up parts that they're getting stuck on. Okay. I think I'm okay with the face. It could go darker, but we're gonna just leave it. Is all my stuff there? Yes. And there's the head cracks, and I'll have to we'll have to deal with those. How was I doing that? I'll draw those in later, though. And we'll brighten that like this. This would be a good candidate for a blending mode, I think. But I have not experimented enough with them to be able to pull that off without ruining this, I think. Okay, I think that's good enough for the head for now. I'll work on the cracks later on. There's a thumb we moved. Okay, let's do a little bit on these, on this, render out this, the palm of this hand. Get the eraser back. There. Okay. Needs to be darker. I'm mostly just faking this thing. The hardware here. Fake it till you make it. Why did that switch to the eraser? Alright. That's not good. There. I was wondering why that was getting lighter. Somehow I had switched over to my eraser. And this is mostly darkness over here. This is stuff you can't really see. How about this? These are red. For the reflective light right there. And then maybe it should all be like that, but it should be brighter. Yeah, a little better. At least I'm happy with that. You erasable? Yes. Make sure I don't have the... Make sure I'm not working on the wrong layer, as I often am doing. Yeah, I think we're okay. Alright, we just work our way down this thing. It's flat metal here, though. Just try this brush. Wow, that's not the color. There's that one little bit right there. That joint. I guess that's the wrist. Get that curve, and then we'll do this one. There we go. Recreate that sort of, what is that? That pivot joint. Like a pin to hold those bits together. Brighter, brighter, brighter. Why does it always pick differently than what I think I'm going to get? Sometimes it seems like it's picking them too light, and sometimes it feels like it's picking them too dark. There. That's sort of kind of it. It'll come over and then we'll have this and we'll sort of shorten that. No, don't. There we go. That's okay. I'm arriving at. Let's do these wires here. This one comes out from behind it, I think. I'm going to sort of deliberately make these thicker as they come forward just to sort of enhance that sort of back to front thing. You know, the perspective of it, even though it shouldn't be, because it's not really far enough to have any perspective change, but I sort of want to do that anyway, just to sort of draw attention to it. It'll give me more room too when I add the shine on it. We should be more red. Why isn't it though? Like, why do I keep... It's doing that thing again where I'm picking a color that is brighter than it wants me to do. Oh no, I see. Because it's... Right. I don't understand how it's doing that. For some reason, it keeps switching over to my eraser when I think it's switching to the brush. It's very weird. Am I just forgetting, or what? These still aren't really the right color. I might want to redo them later. Maybe I can warm them up now. I just want them a little bit more red. I don't really need them to be the exact color. I take liberties with the color anyway. I don't want to... I'm not going to kill myself on making the color exact. Just as long as we get the tones in there, we're good. Okay, let's deal with this thing. Really want to warm that up. And this is going to be dark. This is pretty much black, but I've been using this dark reddish color. Instead, I wanted the shadows to be warmer, that are closer to all this other, I guess, red that would be reflecting off of it. Close enough. It's a weird little bit there. The way it's almost like floating over that. I don't know if that was their intention or not. Like, that doesn't look like it's really rooted. A little bit of shine on there. I really do want this darker. We might just go to black. I don't really want to do that. No, this ends right here. Anyway, if I like the first game, I might get the other chapters. Like chapter 2 and 3. Was it 2, 3, and 4 are like on sale right now in a bundle on Steam. Not a deep sale, but it's a sale. Puppy 5 is the one I watched a little bit of on YouTube yesterday. But that one's brand new, so it's still going to cost a bit. You got to give those time to come down in price. Am I happy with that? Yeah. I think I messed up this part a little bit. It needs to come down more. I need to get rid of some of that. It does not flutter out that much. It's close enough to where I'm not upset about it. I was neither happy about a banana or sad about an apple on that day. Gaming reference. I guess point and clicks. If you play a lot of point and clicks, you probably got that one. Okay. I'm basically okay with this, although this is still kind of inaccurate. I really do need to maybe fix this. Like, Let's grab some of that. That need to be larger. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Okay, have a good night. Super cool guy. Thanks for hanging out. I'm not going to be able to get this shape right. So we might just split the difference and learn to be okay with it. As long as we get the illusion, I'm okay. Yeah, because it still works. Unless somebody wants to be annoying and point out, oh, well, see, you made a mistake here, Braxton. You made a mistake there, and this isn't perfectly accurate. Which no one here does that, but I know there are people who do that. Been there. Which is sometimes helpful, you know. Sometimes you need an extra pair of eyes if you're going for strictly precision. That bolt continues on into here. Like that. Sort of. I think I'm okay with all that. And what else? I think I'm okay with the head for now. I just need to do the cracks, which some of them are done already. I just need to do a few of them over here. I feel like I want to redo some of these because I want them to follow the curve of the face, but I don't know. We'll put those in later. That's on its own separate layer. Thumb needs to be rendered. It's neat looking at that stuff just floating in the air like that. Layers are cool. They just are also frustrating at the same time. For me. Frustrating for me. And comes around here. Drawing is fun. It takes a lot of concentration, but once you get up over those initial hurdles, you know, the beginner hurdles where it's, you know, kind of difficult and frustrating at times, once you get to a certain point, then it starts getting better. And it becomes more fun. Then you can just zone out and stay along that edge there. Then you can just zone out and quietly obsess. That's what I do, actually. Ooh, look at that. Look at me remembering what layer that was on. Like a boss. There might be hope for me yet. In my crazy layer aversion. Sort of losing the thread on this one. This little piece here is kind of hard for me to draw for some reason. This really does need to be darker, doesn't it? I just really don't want to go full black on that. It's very difficult to get close without going all the way. But you know what I could do? We could just go full black and then Here, I'll use the airbrush. We'll do it in the core of these because it does have to warm up when it gets out to the edges, because it's going to pick up this the glow from around. Uh-oh. I did it, didn't I? Yes, I did. Here. There. I was celebrating being on the right layer and then messed it up and went on the wrong layer. So again, I don't know if I should do commentary if I play this and record the video and upload it. I don't know if I should do commentary or just quietly play. You know, should I treat it like a live stream? Should I live stream it? It would only be on, remember, it would only be on YouTube. So also, just in case, oh, look at that, we caught a spammer. I didn't see that one pop up. It didn't pop up in my, like the earlier one, not Cyrillic. There was one before. Cyrillic is cool. There was another one from before. What was it? Convincing pencil something. Yeah, something like that. Convincing pencil something. That's the one I banned, and I saw it in my, here, this is the little chat module that I use. I saw it in here, and I banned them, and then, but I did not see this one. Here, that's the one that I banned, but I didn't see this one pop up, so woo-woo caught that one. For some reason, it didn't show up in the chat. It shows up on my other one. On my Twitch dashboard. So anyway, here we go. Let's see. How do I do that? Is it exclamation YT? Yeah, so, you know, follow my YouTube, because if I do any gaming, it's only going to be there. Just in case anyone's interested. It's not going to be on Twitch. It won't be simulcast, like what we're doing right now. So I might do live streams there, but again, it's only going to be live on YouTube. Okay, let's go back into this and do this same thing that I did before. It's just not dark enough. So this is the new strategy. I'll do the core in black, and then the fringes will pick up that light color. The reddish color. Yeah, that's looking better. I like that better. I love this brush. I just love this brush. That's all I have to say. World's best brush. Aha, I like that. That's kind of working for me. See, it's going to be lighter right here on this edge. Right there. And it's got like a little glint. Oof. That was bad. Don't do that. Never do that again. Where's my eraser? That might be a little bit bright. It's getting there, right? It is getting there. Let's save. Yeah. I need to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to experiment a little bit more. Why is that like that? Why do we have an edge? Did I accidentally move that? I don't know why it had that white edge on it. Pretty close. These are a bit chunky. It's not quite as good as that one, but it's all kind of drawn by eye, so I forgive myself these small issues. I'm happy with this. I gotta do the thumb up into here, and then these are pretty much there. I'm just gonna go in and deal with those, I guess, next week, because we're about to call it for the day. Let's do the thumb here as we wind down on the effort scale for the day. I like this effect of adding these, like blending these light bits of color into the edges of the like a black core of the shadow. I like that. I'll use that more often. As in some, because I usually never use that. Am I going to do the same thing on this though? Am I going to do that middle? Yeah. Well, that's going to take a while. We're going to have to do it like we did the other one. Well, not the other one, but as I was in there coloring these edges, I have to just kind of manually add that in. I wonder if the airbrush should be a little bit better at it. It's just that the airbrush gets streaky sometimes. Oh, you know what is, can I use pressure opacity on this now? Or not pressure opacity, can I alpha lock this now? It'll be much easier. Yeah, that's the reason I hand colored that, is because it wasn't fully opaque. And so the alpha lock wasn't working, or whatever they call it in this one, like pixel lock or something. It just says lock transparent pixels, so it's just saying it in a different way. But I started off with GIMP, and I think they call that alpha lock on GIMP. Although don't mistake me for being a proponent of GIMP. I don't like it anymore. I used to love it, now I hate it. So this is solid black that we're going over it with, but it still has that warmth because I'm using, well, you can't see it, it's alpha locked. Very lightly, so that way some of that color is coming through it. Let's take off the pressure size. You can see the damage caused by moving that. It's okay, we can fix that. We can rebuild it. We have the technology. Will it work if I lock that too? Well, I did lock that before. That's how I got these on there. Alright, let's see what we can do. Or is it all locked? Does it lock all of them? It shouldn't. I mean, it should be coloring on that one. Can you not have more than one layer locked? It's very weird why that's happening. I have my oil brush, I have the color selected, but nothing's happening. Oh, it's because of the gap. That's right, duh. You can't alpha lock your gap, dummy. Because it's a gap. Alright. Durr. Alright, fine. It's okay. I just having a time. Like, what is going on with this thing? Well, it's doing its job. Oh, my beautiful lines that I suffered over. I have to repair them. Stop getting smaller. Yeah, we're gonna have an issue with that, I'm sure. Darn it. Well, that's gonna be a challenge. Because it always is doing that thing. It's kind of not picking the color I want. These were so beautifully, perfectly straight. I have to figure out which part of this is broken. There we go. Okay, and then when the background is on, you won't even notice it. Right. Yeah, these are all just preliminary things anyway, so hopefully we have all that tidied up. Maybe we can finish this next time. Even that's going to get covered up. I still want it there. There, see? Okay, well, that was actually not as much progress as I wanted today, but it's okay. I got this thumb up over here, which only took like half an hour, right? It did take, no, it took longer than that. But it's okay now, and now that that's out of the way, it makes the coloring easier here. So it took extra time, but it's fine, because there's a benefit. There's actually going to save you time later. So basically, so we just have to render these, the fingers, which these were just quickly mapped out earlier, so it's no big deal. I'll just, now that I have them solid and I've repaired this damage, then we can alpha lock that, and it'll be a simple process, I think, to get these cleaned up. And I'll also use a correction layer or blending mode to make these hotter. You see, it's a different kind of thing. It's kind of a white hot thing going on in these, and it's hard to do that with this stuff, but those blending modes make things like that possible. Like, let's see if we can figure out one of them. How about what was I using? Not darken, not multiply. I used to use multiply a lot. That's great. That's the one you should use. If you don't know what to do with blending modes, at least use multiply and figure that one out, because it will help you create shadows and shadow colors very fast. You just have to set the multiply layer above, you know. Put that above. Does it go above or below? I'm having to try and remember. No, hold on. Maybe it does. Does it go? Yeah, it goes darker. And it'll like automatically make shadow colors. I have to mess around with that a little bit more later. Yeah, there we go. Saturation might be it. Now, what was the other one? Let's try another one. No, I don't think that was the one. It is. There's one that I did that actually did what I was looking for. Why is he still doing that? Because it's got some extra thing on the layer, and for some reason I can't see it there. No, that doesn't do it. Subtract, maybe? We have to go through them all, aren't we? No, sir. That's the opposite, apparently. There was one that I did that was right on. It's exactly what I wanted. I don't think I did any of these. Ha ha ha. Glow. Like that. Like that. I have this kind of positioned wrong, don't I? Because it would be here. Not exactly, but it's least looking more like what I wanted. Look at that, we're figuring out blending modes today. Sort of. Okay. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah, these modes are freaky. So I feel like you're not going to need most of these. And some of them are so close to the effect that the other creates that you might as well not even have half of them, right? Hey, yo, Garrett. Welcome in. You know what? I wonder if that would work here too. Hold on. Before we end for the day. Let's see if we can go full blending mode. No, not this one. Not that layer. Hold on, which one did I put that on? Did I put that on the thumb layer? Well, which layer did I put all that on? Aha, there we go. No, it doesn't do that one here. Doesn't seem to have an effect on that. Does it have to be brighter? I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. I think I've just confused myself. But I can do these shines without it. At least I got these things to look a little bit better. Alright. That should be it for today. Alright, that's it. I'm tired. Everyone, thank you for coming by. Have a great day. I'll be back next Saturday.